for Leafs hopefuls and their fans. The action actually starts now. The team's training camp opened today. One of the people who has been watching closely is Steve Dangle. He's close to host of the Steve Dangle podcast. He's a writer for theleafsnation.com and an associate producer here at CBC Sports. Hi, Steve.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. Who are some of the people we need to be watching for as this training camp for the Leafs gets going?
Well, there's lots of new faces you obviously got to look for. The Dave Bolins, David Clarkson just signed a pretty huge deal. Good thing Nazem Kadri was just locked up last night. But one of the guys I'm more intrigued to see is Paul Ranger. He signed a one-year deal with the Leafs. I believe it was about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. And he just kind of left the NHL mysteriously a few seasons back, and he's decided to make a comeback, and he looks ready. A lot of teams wanted him.
Okay, so that sounds like maybe a positive surprise. Are there other surprises you expect in that final roster for the Leafs?
I would not be surprised at all to see Morgan Rielly, a rookie, make the team. It seems more and more to me that he's actually in the plans for this season. Right now, they haven't quite been able to get Cody Franzen under contract, defenseman, but I think that's really not bothering them too much because they want to give Morgan Rielly a bit of a look.
For people who, I'm sure, still hold the tragic finale to the Leafs season last year in their hearts, the third period meltdown against the Boston Bruins in Game 7 after so much excitement about getting into that far in the playoffs. How do you feel that experience from last season will affect the team this year? Will that be a help or a hindrance?
Well, first of all, I don't know what you're talking about because I've erased it from my memory.
Oh, okay.
Second of all, you need to. I think that's good. It's good for them. They need to know what that feels like. And a lot of teams that have won in recent history have made it to the playoffs and lost in, not so thrilling ways. In the years before they won the Cup. Chicago made it, I think, 3 rounds deep before they got knocked out. The Penguins lost in the finals the year before they won the Cup. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen to the Leafs. I'm just saying losing is a part of winning sometimes. Okay, good way to frame it positively. Hope springs eternal for Leafs fans, doesn't it? I guess the ultimate question everybody wants to know, you get out your crystal ball and dust it off. Based on what you're seeing, from day one of the training camp, how do you think the Leafs will do this year? Put your money on the table. I've questioned some of their moves. I was a really big Mikhail Grabowski fan, and I'm really bummed he's gone. The new conferences and divisions lineup makes competition very difficult for the Leafs. They still have the Bruins to contend with. They still have the Habs to contend with. But now they got Detroit, which is going to be just a joy. And Tampa, I think, is a much stronger team now, too. Their goaltending's a little better, and they got that beast Steven Stamkos up front. The Leafs are going to be a bubble team. It's not going to be easy to make the playoffs, if they make the playoffs at all. You know what? Why not? I'm a hopeless Leaf fan. They make it.
Okay, good. Well, we'll wait and see whether your predictions hold true. Thanks for talking with us today, Steve.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
Steve Dangle is host of the Steve Dangle podcast. He's a writer for theleafsnation.com and an associate producer here at CBC Sports.